Get us into bullish mode. Ink bulls only.
Nice one.
Thank you very much.
My body is ready.
Your turn. Your turn. Let's go.
Hey, Briz.
This is the Ink Bulls only section.
Hopefully
Welcome
there's
to
more than
PulseChain.
2 of us.
We love you.
We do. You're the guy who made that up, right?
I think I was the first one to make that meme. So
nice.
I'm honored. I'm honored that a lot of people like it. So
cool.
What's up, Fast? How's it going?
Oh, pretty good. Been taking it easy, not working too hard, just kind of hanging out. That's a lie. I haven't slept for 4 days. It's the bull market.
Nice. Do you mind if I tell you a couple of bullish things, some bullish facts about Ink, the greenest and greatest coin? All right. So the first thing I want to say is that one of Ink's greatest strengths and features is its scarcity. I don't think people realize how scarce it actually is. There's 19.8 million Bitcoins out there, and there's only 55.3 million Ink. That's a 2.7x more coins than Bitcoin, right? It's very scarce. Bitcoin is at $100,000. You know, why can an Ink get to like 30,000? Bitcoin, went up. I'm just saying that's there's not very many coins out there.
If people sold all their Bitcoin and used it to buy Ink, it would go up lots.
Oh, bro, you'd have no idea. I actually looked at the pools of Ink, and there's only $3.8 million worth of Ink available on the markets. All right, that's not that much. Eventually, these are going to get bought up off the market, and there's going to be a liquidity crunch. Just think about it. What happens when the first $3.8 million comes hunting for those Inks? The price is just going to go straight up. And then what happens when another $4 million comes coming? And I think in this cycle, I think we could see over $100 million flow into Ink. And what that would do for the price is send it to the moon. Well, first of all, people would start selling it, and then it would keep going up, and then people would keep selling it, and then it would keep going up, and basically there would be no more for sale. And one of the other things about Ink is that Richard or the OA or whoever controls the farms could actually reduce the amount of Ink. He could reduce it so it produces 1 Ink per year. Imagine.
It's already reduced by 97%, but it doesn't mean he couldn't turn it down to 99.9% reduction in inflation.
Exactly. And then there's also other features that he could unlock that would actually make Ink even more scarce, or not even scarce, but it would spread it out more evenly to a bigger crowd of people, so more people would have smaller amounts. And that's if he would turn on like the single side staking, and he would allow PulseX to go into it to collect a little bit of Ink. And so those are just kind of like some of my ideas. I think Ink could go and do incredible numbers this cycle. 99.9 the Ink is removed from the markets, and the only Ink that will be coming out is what the farmers are producing.
What do you think of the idea of Ink becoming a DAO token for PulseX?
I think that's very possible. Allow user-generated farms to be on PulseX and have people be able to vote each one in, and they'd have to have enough ink to have the voting power. There's another reason to hold ink.
Yeah,
I think
and
it's
maybe,
going to
maybe you
do
have to lock
numbers.
your ink or stake your ink to do that. Something that where it's locked up for a period of time so you can vote. Maybe locking it up or staking it, a single-sided staking option where you earn something else. That could be cool too.
Very much so. Let's see what some of these guys in the chats are saying. Didn't some of you lose bets? Give me some ink and we'll call it even. Bit finesse. Come on. I pretty much shot my shot on why I think ink is freaking awesome. It's gonna be so scarce, guys. There's only 4 million ink out there on the market. It's going to get scarce, guys.
Yeah, no, it's true that as far as liquidity goes, I think for core tokens, it's the second lowest liquidity after Hex, right? So it's not going to take much to pump that up in crypto terms. And the truth about Ink is that if $1 billion came in and bought Ink, which in crypto isn't that much, and there was 80% sell pressure, Ink would go over $3,000 per Ink. I've included 80% sell pressure in that number. So if there's not 80% sell pressure, that number could be much higher. So to say that it's possible to have a $3,000 Ink, it's not that crazy. And I'm willing to accept a smaller number, like a $200, $300 Ink. That's readily available with minimal pumpage. And when that does pump, that means the APRs and the PulseX farms will pump, which is going to drive people in. They're going to want to buy the other things, right? So Ink goes up to $300. The APRs, do a 30x in the farms, right? And then people run out, they buy Hex, they buy Pulse, the other assets that are in those PulseX farms, so they can pair them together. So Ink could really be the spear for the PulseChain ecosystem. We can get a silly number Ink, right? Like $1,000 plus, $3,000, something like that. And those APRs do a 300x. You would have people rushing out to buy every core asset that's on that list to put into the pairs to farm it so they could get a piece of that. And I think, we might not see that tomorrow, but I think as far as a plan goes for a lever that Richard can pull, Ink has lots of choices for the community, and it could set us up for awesome liquidity, huge liquidity. Right now, he's pulled that lever to have less liquidity by reducing the inflation in the farms. But that makes Inks more scarce. And then when it pumps and people come back in and he feels that he wants more liquidity, all he has to do is, pump the price of that up to $2,000, $3,000. And man, those farms are going to fill up in a second.
Yep. And I really think that if the prices go sky high, it's because they're basically all bought off the market, right? And to me, Richard captured lightning in a bottle with Hex. And that's why I'm here in PulseChain, because I think he can capture it a second time. And if he does capture lightning in a bottle this cycle, everyone would be a fool not to be invested in the third cycle. And I think by the third cycle, we could have literally 99.9% less coins on the market. And I think we'll have way higher floors than we did this cycle. Oh, shit.
Agreed.
we just
this
got to get to it.
Yet. Don't get too excited. But yeah, I think the bull case for Ink is huge. With not this cycle, next cycle, the long term is probably very good. It is a core token in the ecosystem, right? It's launched by Richard Hart, audited code, all the good stuff, right? Ink has no admin keys for Ink, right? And nobody received a pre-allocation. There's no VC investors. Everyone either farmed it because they believed in the ecosystem, or they market bought it themselves, right? All the holders of
Yep.
ink. I went through that process.
Yep. 100%. You know,
And there's no way for anybody to mint it. Like even Richard can't mint ink. There's no option, right? Like the only way to get ink is to participate in the PulseX farms or to market buy.
correct. Correct. You know, I honestly believe the people who farmed ink are probably some of the best pulse chainers out there, you know, because they really believe in the system. They're putting their money in there. They're letting people buy and sell their coins. They're earning a little bit of ink, but you know, those are the guys that are the guys, right?
The guys that farmed and are still holding in particular, right? So if you farmed ink and you saw it go up to $80 and then down to $1.35, and you still have ink, then you're a true believer in the Richard Heart ecosystem. So yeah, I think as far as looking at a coin, looking at the holder group, and there's lots of whales in ink. There's guys with big bags that are holding, and they've been holding for a long time. A lot of them got it for free, and they still chose not to sell it, right? So, you know, I think that's something that as an investor, I would look at who holds this coin, how long have they been holding it for, and why have they been holding for so long? And yeah, I think it's because they're true believers.
Is this the ink debate? Did I show up at the ink debate?
I think we're both
came to
debating
the
on
ink
the same
glaze.
side.
The ink bulls only. Oh, that was the ink debate. I was going to be like, is there any greener logo? I'm like, no, that's the greenest.
There's not.
It's the greenest. There is no greener logo. There is no greener logo. It's the ink token. It's the PulseX ink token. It's the best. Shout out to Michael Saylor, by the way. Could be a Hexagon. I don't know.
Probably.
Thank you for having me on, RHMax.
Boom. You're gonna come back. For next. We got a Hex Week coming up. You guys like the Hex token? Got a Hex Week coming up in a little bit.
I've heard of this Hex token.
Yeah. If you like to get Hexy, might be doing that
Hex?
a little bit later on.
Tell me more.
It's the 10,000X token. Check out the website hex.com. I heard about it.